Hey everybody, thanks for joining me. We are kicking off our final day of product reveals for our first ever holiday collection here at the Greetery. Are you ready to do some speed tagging? Trust me, it's less stressful and more fun than speed dating. So let me tell you a little about this new collection called Speed Tagging. It consists of one large die. This is a single tag die which cuts 7 tags in one shot. There is a matching rubber stamp. This is a cling back rubber stamp. It lets you stamp all 7 tag images at one time. So you can go ahead and stamp and then line up the die and die cut everything all at once. So in one shot, you have 7 tags that are all ready to go to be embellished. And so we're also including a set of sentiments and small details to add to your tags as embellishments. There are several different sentiments for the holidays included in this little set. This is a $15 set, so it's a 4x6 set. And then to go along with that is another little additional die which coordinates with all of the little details from the sentiment set. And so all of these pieces will be sold separately, so you can pick and choose what you'd like to purchase from the collection. So let's go ahead and get started and make some tags, and I'll show you how quick and easy it is to make a whole pile of tags in a short amount of time, which I don't know about you, but around the holidays, this is just the thing for me. I am always looking for little tags to tie onto gifts and packages, and usually I need them in a hurry. And so this is just perfect. You can whip out just a whole pile of tags in a short amount of time. So we're going to get started. I am using my Misty, which is going to make this process really quick and easy. So of course this is a cling back, foam back rubber stamp, and so if you're using a Misty, you'll need to take out, I always cover my foam piece in my Misty with a Cricut cutting mat, which is sticky. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that out because you need the deeper clearance for the rubber stamp, and we'll go ahead and just put that in our Misty. Go ahead and choose like 3 or 4 ink colors plus a black. So I have those chosen here. I'll be using Tumbled Glass, Peeled Paint, Pine Needles, and Festive Berries oxide inks, and then also a black ink. I also have 4 pieces of cardstock. These are sized 8.5 by 6 inches, and so they fit just perfectly in my Misty. So I'm going to go ahead and get started, and I'm going to stamp 4 of these tag images onto my cardstock. I just go ahead and ink up that stamp with our tumbled glass first of all, and you might want to stamp it multiple times to get the color that you want. I like to use a sponge to kind of smooth out the ink on the stamp before I impress it onto my cardstock. Smooth over the whole thing with pressure so you get a nice good image. And if there are any areas that didn't impress, just go ahead and do it again. That's the great thing about the Misty. So I want to go for a little bit deeper color, so I'm going to stamp it one more time. So that is looking good, and now I'm going to go ahead and repeat this process for my other ink colors. So now that we have all of our stamping done, we have 4 sheets of tags. We can go ahead and do our die cutting. So I'm going to take the large speed tagging die, and I'm going to lay it right over top of my stamped images. Now there are some little circle guides scattered around the perimeter of the tag images, and those line up with these little circle guides on the die. So you can just kind of go ahead and lay those on, kind of scoot it around until it's in a good position. And it helps to kind of look from above, look straight down at the die instead of at an angle. Another thing to eyeball is this inner circle of the circle tag die at the bottom. This inner circle should center right inside of this cutout of the center circle of the die. And then you can go ahead and tape that in place in a couple spots just to secure it. I'm also going to run the detail die through at the same time, and I'm going to put that right down here at the bottom. Then we can go ahead and pop those out, and we have all of these cute stamped and die cut tags done super quick. And then we also have all of the bits and pieces for the details, and I'm going to just create a little pile of those to use later. I'm going to go ahead and repeat this process for the other sheets of tags. So I die cut my other 3 sheets, and now I have a whole pile of all of these cute colorful tags. I also have a pile of little details that I can stamp on and use to embellish the tags. So you can go ahead and do that, or you can just stamp a sentiment and call it really quick, or use those embellishments to further decorate the tags. So now I'm going to go ahead and set up my MISTI so that I can stamp the sentiments and the little embellishments much more quickly. So I have put my foam mat back into my MISTI since we're going to be working with clear stamps now once again. So I saved one of the negative die cuts from the sheet of tags when I just cut those a minute ago. I'm going to save that negative sheet, and I am going to just drop the tags back in there, and I'll set up my MISTI with the sentiments and the little embellishments. So I have my sentiments all in here. They do all mix and match between the various tags, and so you don't have to position them where I have them. You can put them wherever. Every sentiment will fit on every tag, and so you can go ahead and arrange them however you'd like, or you can just stamp them by hand as well if you want to get more of a mix of your sentiments between the different shapes of tags. And now I'm going to set up the little details on the bottom here. Alright, so I have my MISTI set up with all my sentiments as well as my detail dies, so now I can go ahead and just finish stamping these. I'm going to do the sentiments in black just because I like a nice crisp black sentiment. And then the details, I'm going to stamp one set with each of the different colors that I did the tags in. So then I'll have all of these bits and pieces to just mix and match and embellish my tags. And there we have a whole pile of stamped tags and embellishments all ready to go and be put together. So I think I'll go ahead and do that. Hey everybody, before I go, I wanted to give one important tip for those of you who might use the Gemini electronic cutter. Because the sandwich is so tight on the Gemini machines, it tends to feed the die and the paper through at a slightly different rate, or something is going on, but it's causing a little bit of distortion by the time you get to the bottom of the die. And so you start off nice and lined up at the top, but by the time you get to the bottom, things might be a little distorted. So in order to combat that, you're going to want to back off on your sandwich tightness. Here's what I found worked really well for me. I used my bottom cutting plate along with my paper and then my die cutting side down on top of that. And then I just used the clear plastic shim and then the second cutting plate on the top. I completely omit that magnetic shim or even the metal shim. This just loosens it up just a little bit so that everything lines up nicely across the entire die. So And it's not a detailed die, and so you're still getting a good cut. Thanks for joining me here at the Greetery YouTube channel for this intro into our speed tagging collection. These new stamps and dies will go up in the shop at thegreetery.com beginning at 10 a.m. Eastern Time on October 4. We'll see you then. Thanks, guys!